Already set.
It's simple answers to a complex.
It's already set.
Okay, let's do this. I'm ready.
Okay,
All right.
look. Now look. It's like this.
You
All
can
right.
go. You can start. You can start, Charles.
It's like this. I love black women.
Absolutely.
I love
Clearly.
black women. All right. My mother's black. All right.
Is she?
My daughter's black. And my sisters are black. I love black women. I'm not Tommy Sotomayor. I'm not out here telling brothers to go run and get themselves with white girls and other stupid shit.
I
All
understand
right.
that.
I'm not a sellout.
But what's wrong with American black women is my
I will
question.
tell you what's
Because I mean, literally, the other night we were out and Terrell was with us, and a black guy was sitting by us, and he was with his group here somewhere. He looked at us, saw that we were American, turned his back, pulled the girl around.
Let me tell you
He's
why.
been doing that for a while.
I'm sure he has.
Let me tell you why.
Why?
Let me tell you why. A lot of brothers are frustrated. That movie, documentary, Frustrated Black Men in Brazil, a lot of us look at that, boy, down, that's what started my movement. Okay? So the thing about it is, I love black women. The problem is African American women have been feminized. Okay? They always say I don't need a man. That's bullshit.
They do not always.
No, no, no. Keish, let him finish. Let him finish.
It's not you. It's not you. You are probably a very small percentage of good black women that are left. My mother, my grandmother,
Here's my
you
thing.
probably,
Do you understand that just as jaded as you guys are sounding right now, that's how we feel.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Because there's literally this resurgence of black men, and there's beautiful, beautiful black men, and you want them, and you want to be with your own kind. I love brown skin, I love melanin, but they don't want nothing to do with us.
No, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a
Like,
minute.
I've been so surprised. I've seen and met more black men here from America that are cool and want to talk to me than I do back home. Back home, to be a Hispanic man, to be a white boy, to be an Asian boy, anything but black men.
Okay, Keish, let him answer.
Okay, you done answered your own question by even making that statement. I've seen all these good black American men. We're being chased out of our own country. Don't you get? We being forced right down here. Look, we are men.
I don't know you guys are looking hard enough.
We are no, looking hard enough. That's the problem.
Whoa.
Okay, what are you looking at? What type of women do you guys go to and talk to or are like that?
Okay, let me tell you something. I love my sisters. I love my nice, beautiful sisters such as yourself. All right, but guess what? I don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm a good black man. I have no criminal record. I don't have 50 or less kids. All my kids are by one woman. I got two of them, all by one woman. Okay, all right. The trick is this,
I'm
right?
not laughing at you, Michael Walker.
Okay, the trick is right that a lot of African American women go for guys like my best friend. He's got 12 kids by 9 different women, and he knows how to get
And you
them.
know what's funny? We're over here having this discussion. Like, I seriously feel like if I was a do nothing bitch, I have an easier time finding a black man
You're right.
than I do out here.
Shit.
Because when
Shout out to Joel Jones, 1141, and Black Mind. I want to say shout out because they put me on to Charles Tyler. When I may have seen this guy years ago, I just didn't register it. But I went and looked up this clip where he was having a heated discussion with some women in Brazil. You know, these were women from the slave quarters. You know, I'm sorry, I can't call it nothing more than that and shit, given today's political and economic climate, and you know, in the colonies and shit. Okay, I can't call it anything else and shit. But anybody get butthurt about that, you know. But you know, I went and looked at this clip, and his brother, you know, been over in Brazil for a minute, you know, and you know, he was set upon, or you know, he had a lively discussion with a black woman about why men are leaving the community and shit. And that was this is an old clip. It was done many years ago. You know, I'm told that the brother then passed away, and if that's true, I say rest in power and shit. Thank you for being a you know a beacon, you know, a light to lead other guys to this conclusion. You know, I draw a hard line. I think in 2023 we need to draw more of a hard line. There is no arguing with a black woman and shit. Okay, you standard run of the mill black woman. There's no arguing with her. Okay, period. She's not gonna, you know, she can't be objective for the most part. Okay, everything has to go skew in her favor, Okay, Everything has to kind of tilt in her favor for her to even feel comfortable talking to you. She has to have some kind of edge, and it's a one-sided argument. She's used to that tells you that the person is used to being in a codependent situation where they hold a number of the good cards while you got a crap hand and shit. And I salute the brother, Charles Tyler, for having that discussion with the woman, trying to explain to her. But I say in current times, don't have that discussion. Okay, don't explain yourself one bit. Okay, even explaining yourself is acquiescing to their delusion that they have ownership over you. Okay, we have to break the chain. Okay, plain and simple. It's a chain. It's an invisible chain that they perceive around to be around your neck. It's a slave collar, okay? And they'll never admit it, but they know this deep down, even on the subconscious level. They feel a sense of ownership. You always see these women manhandling their male partners and shit. I guess we should say. You always say, "Tell me how many." If any of you haven't seen, a black woman with her hands on a man and yanking and pulling on his clothing or his person, assaulting him or talking to him in a disrespectful, infantilized tone and shit, aggressive or not. Sometimes it's passive and shit, and sometimes it's overt, and I don't know which is worse. I think the passive version of it is worse. Okay. Now I saw him on this beach talking to these women, and I thought to myself, him and the other brother that was there, that was one day of his life that was wasted. That was one day of his life that was wasted. She would learn more by you ignoring her ass, okay, and walking the fuck away. All right, with a woman or not, with a Latin woman or not, that she would have learned more from being disrespected. They look like they always looking to get emotional and content from you. Emotional involvement. They looking to stick the knife in. They're looking to shame you. That's the whole fucking sign language thing we're talking about. It's time to break that shit. Okay, break their tools. I don't care if you have to break their tools while they're holding it in their hands, but you have to break the tools and shit. And one way to break the tools and shit in modern times is don't engage. Let her say whatever she want to say and blah blah blah. If you have a way to walk away while she's still talking, just turn to walk away while she's in the middle of her bullshit. Okay, just turn to walk away, man. It's time to use some of those tools that they have and turn them back on them and shit. Okay. Yeah, one of the things I used to do, like back in the day, when I went to a new job, I would get that employee handbook and read the fuck out of it, read it from front to back and shit. And, that helped me know how big the yard was that I had to play in, that I had to run around in, and what the parameters were, shit. And I gotta admit, my employers were frustrated as hell whenever they tried to do some shady shit because I knew the employee handbook. I even knew that they couldn't do double jeopardy on shit. They couldn't be passive aggressive and use that against me. I think you kings out there should employ this is this a tactic and shit? Let her start talking, let her start blabbing. Stand there for like however long you can stand it, and then just walk away without a word. Don't refute anything. Don't respond to the sign language or the hand karate and shit. Okay, don't do any of your own. All you have to do is just walk away. That gets the point across. Okay, that gets the point across that it tells America. Some of these guys in other communities have been talking about this. Oh, we're gonna come back to the table and negotiate and all that. Nah, fuck all that shit, man. Fuck that. You don't gotta negotiate shit, okay? Because you're the prize. It's more women on the face of the planet Earth than there are men and shit. Okay, you just take a walking journey through that shit, okay? All right. Whatever what she's got down there between her legs, this shit is just a hole. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to be crass, but the women have proved this to us for 4 decades now. Okay, ever since the misandry, the black female misandry went mainstream and shit, they've been proving to you that they are nothing more than human beings. So when they're not goddesses, if we can't be kings, if we gotta be dusties and shit, if we gotta be fucking dusties, man, then what does that make them? Okay, and what does that make that also precious, musty axe wound, as one content creator would say? What does that make them if you don't have a king? There ain't no queen and shit. There ain't no queen without a king. You don't have to tell them any of this shit. Just walk away. Just walk away, man. Walk away. Wait till they start talking and then just walk the fuck away. And then if they pursue you, make sure you remain as calm as possible, as calm, and just say yes. Can I help you? Act like you didn't even remember what you were talking about. The reason I just want to push my point across. Okay, like these women have been traveling and going overseas to Jamaica. You didn't see any brothers over there ask them why they was getting on those rafts to go down the stream there and get their lungs busted. All right, you ever seen any black dudes going to Jamaica and shit and fucking around with them and shit while they messing with these yardies and shit, sitting up there with a coconut drink, with a bikini on, looking all nice, you know? Well, shit, Eddie Murphy, the first person who brought up the girls trips and shit, man. Eddie Murphy and Eddie Murphy Raw, he brought that shit up, man. And he didn't bring up nothing about the dude going down there and giving a fuck, okay? A lot of times, if you're clueless when your woman is doing this shit, okay? It's hypergamous criminality and shit. You are a living utility if you allow yourself to be. I said, fuck that shit, okay? You're too smart now, you young men. Too smart to do that, okay? If you do that, then you deserve what you get. Just go ahead, get in the matrix and shit. Be a small cog in a big machine. But for me, for smart brothers, for brothers that want to explore their options and see what you can do outside of the country, man. You know what to expect here and shit. Go find something new. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Go find something new. Well, there ain't no queens, man. You don't owe them no explanation. But shit you do. Okay? They ain't gonna give you no explanation. And if they do, it's gonna be some kind of gaslighting bullshit. It's like you didn't see what you thought you saw. You ain't hearing it right. Let me tell you how you supposed to hear what I'm saying and shit. Hear it until I'm right. Okay? That woman should have been enjoying her fucking vacation. She should have been shopping and doing whatever the fuck she could do. She could find some locals to blow her back out and shit. That's all good. It's all well and good. She shouldn't be there arguing with another man that she sees. And if he wanted to burn her ass, if he really wanted to do a burn, he should have told her. He should have waited until she got through blabbing, and he said, "Hey, no, I understand that you're lonely, but I'm on vacation and shit. Okay, now you can hire yourself a tour guide and shit. Then he should just walk the fuck away and shit. If you let them, they're gonna waste every bit of you, even your time and shit. I had to learn that lesson years ago in Los Angeles, like a week. I learned that I had some old sisters like on my bumper and shit, like hard as fuck for like a week. And I failed that test. I failed that litmus test. I get a dunce cap for myself and shit. And it's okay because it's 2023 and now I can talk to you guys about it. Like, don't waste your fucking time. Do not argue with the woman about shit. You are the man. You're the king and shit. You don't owe her no explanation unless she is your wife. Okay? Not even if she's your sister. Maybe if she's your mom. But you don't owe any walking woman who's inhabiting the same airspace as you, breathing the same oxygen as you. You don't owe her shit. Because she ain't going to tell you nothing about her activities and shit, okay? Yeah, that's all I really got to say and shit. SYSBM equals save yourself, black man.
This message has been paid for by the Dusties. Yes, the niggas you love to hate.